Hello, 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 everyone. It is Financially Free D here, and we are back with another live session on From 9 to 5 to Financially Free. I'm excited to have you here today because we're going to dive into a topic that can make a huge difference in your business funding journey. So, we're going to talk about navigating the various business funding options and products that you have available. So, if you are just now coming in, make sure you drop a dollar sign in the chat because we are all about how to use, learning about how to use other people's money to create profit. We are here to create profit, everyone. So if you are just now coming in, drop a dollar sign in the chat. And if you did not know, I am hosting a free 5-day challenge beginning on April 2nd. And this is how you go from 9 to 5 to financially free. We are going to be covering personal credit, business funding, creating a profitable business entity, and last but not least, taking that business funding and those profits and creating passive income and investments. So I see some people coming in. Hi, Jay. Nice to see you. Come on, come on, come on. If you're dropping in, drop some dollar signs in the chat. And we are going to get started live. I know it is a Sunday fun day. So a lot of you guys are probably out or maybe enjoying with your family. But listen, business doesn't stop. If we want to make a difference in this world, if we want to create generational wealth, we have to always be looking for ways to not only increase our money, also increase our resources and decrease our expenses or increase our cash flow. So let's jump right into it. Now, I know when it comes to business funding, there are so many different options out there that it can be overwhelming. You got lines of credit, you've got loans, you've got credit cards, you have grants, you have crowdfunding, you have investors, and so many more options for funding. So it's enough to make your head spin. And I know you're wondering, like, D, what is the right option for me? So we're going to jump into that in tonight's live session and really get into it about what we can do to navigate the funding options and how to make it the most profitable for you. And again, as I said, I'm going to be going over this and so much more in my free 5-day challenge from 9 to 5 to financially free. So if you have not had a chance to check it out yet, I am going to put the link in the chat. If you would like to join me live, where you can get all the answers and you can learn how to become financially free, just like I did. I left my job over 4 years ago, my corporate job, and I have not looked back. And in that time, I increased my personal credit score from 645 to 820. I obtained over $100,000 in business funding in less than 6 months. I created a profitable 6-figure business in 12 months, and I took that money and I created passive income and investments. And now I harvest a lot of money in investments. So I want to show you guys how to do the exact same thing. Okay, so first, let's talk about this. We're going to talk about the most common funding options that are available to you. So loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. These are the options that most entrepreneurs are familiar with, but there are some key differences between what you hear about with the different products, okay? So let's talk about it. Number one, we're going to talk about loans. So with a loan, you borrow a specific amount of money that you agree to pay back over a set period of time, usually with interest. Loans can be good options if you need a large amount of money up front, like for a major purchase or expansion. So for example, a lot of people will obtain loans to invest in real estate. That's a big long-term real estate. A lot of people get loans for that. But they also come with strict repayment terms and can be harder to qualify for, especially if you are a new business. So that is what the criteria of loans are and what they are used for. Now we're going to talk about lines of credit. So lines of credit, on the other hand, give you access to a certain amount of money that you can draw from as needed. So let's say, for example, I have a line of credit that's $50,000. I can use this line of credit, pay it back, then I can use it again, pay it back and use it again. So you draw from it as needed. You only pay interest on the amount that you use. So that is how lines of credit are actually work, unlike loans. Once you take the money from a loan, you automatically start paying interest on it on day number one, okay? So it is very important that you use lines of credit as an option for ongoing access for funds like managing cash flow, payroll, and unexpected expenses. That is what I would use a line of credit for. Next, my most favorite option on this list, so I saved it for towards the middle of this conversation, is credit cards. As you guys know, I am the 0% interest queen. If you know how to leverage a credit card, you can build a lot of wealth in a short period of time because it allows you to borrow the money for the cheapest. What does that mean? If you have a 0% interest business credit card, you're only paying back the principal amount that you borrow rather than paying interest like a loan or a line of credit, okay? So credit cards are the most popular options, especially for smaller purchases or everyday purchases. And not only those, for me, I've actually used credit cards to invest in land, to invest in building real estate properties. I've used a credit card for all of those things. They can be easy to qualify for and offer rewards like cash back or travel, or if you're me and you use your Amex Business Platinum all the time, you can pay for your business equipment, you can pay for rental cars, you can pay for your travel insurance. There's so many benefits that you can use when using a credit card, right? So they also can come with high interest. But if you're going to attend the 9 to 5, from 9 to 5 to financially free 5-day challenge, you're going to learn how to leverage 0% interest business credit cards the exact same way that I've done, to where you never pay interest. You never pay interest and you're able to always borrow and use that money and deploy it into income producing assets or passive income. Okay. But if you do not know how to use these credit cards, right? Like a lot of people out there watching this video right now, you are paying very high interest right now, 29%, 20%, 15%. So put a 1 in the comment section if that's you and you need my help to come up with a strategic plan of how to pay down that interest, because interest can kill you. It's a big, big deal. So if you don't pay off your balance in full every month and you don't have a 0% interest offer, then you will be paying very high interest, higher than a line of credit or a loan. Okay, so it is important that you use these products very wisely. Okay, now loans and lines of credit, as well as credit cards, are the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the options you have for funding. There's also alternative financing like grants, crowdfunding, investors. Also, there are such things as alternative financing, where you don't necessarily have to have a good credit score. You just may have to have revenue generated in your business. So those are some of the options that you may have in order to get other financing. Now we're going to jump into grants, because I was a very big grant winner in 2021 and 2022. I won several grants, and there are different types of grants that can help you get money in your business. So grants are free money. So if you want some free money, put some dollar signs in the chat, because I know that we all would like free money. I actually used a grant to start my business. So when I tell you guys, I literally started my business with none of my personal money, I'm telling you the truth. The first $5,000 invested in my business was from a grant. So we're going to talk about grants are free money that you don't have to pay back, usually awarded by government agencies, foundations, and corporations. They can be a great option if you are working with or on a project or an initiative that aligns with the grants provider's mission or values. But they can also be highly competitive and require a lot of time and effort to apply for. But if you are joining the 9 to 5 to Financially Free 5-day challenge, I'm going to give you some options that you can go apply right away. And it's actually very easy to win these grants. These are the grants that you don't hear about on the internet very often. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can find that money in my 5-day challenge. There's also such thing as crowdfunding. Some of you all may have heard of that. That is an alternative option that involves raising money from a large number of people, usually online. And this can be a good way to test the market for a new product or service. Build a buzz or awareness around your offer or product and engage with your audience. But it also requires a lot of marketing and promotion to be successful. And you usually have to offer rewards or incentives to your backers, like interest or equity in your business, or a free year-long supply of the product. You're going to have to give them something in order for them to want to give you their money. Okay. Last but not least, this is where I spend a lot of my time, which is on the investment side. So another way that you can get money is from investors, which include angel investors, venture capitalists, and even friends and family. Investors provide funding in exchange for ownership stake in your company, which would be a good option if you need a large amount of money and are willing to give up some control. Now, for those of you who are on the flip side of that you actually attend my challenge and get $100,000 in funding, one of the things that you can do is become an investor, just like I have. I am an angel investor, and I take the business funding that I obtain and invest it into other businesses in exchange for equity in their company. So that is how I get passive income. You understand what I'm saying? So you can either receive it or you can give it, and you can become profitable doing that. So it is very important for you to choose your investors carefully and make sure that their goals and values are aligned and those expectations are aligned. That is very, very, very important. And if you are the person giving the money, if you are the investor, then you want to make sure you're paying attention to the business's books, pay attention to the contracts. You don't just invest in anything for passive income, okay? So that is very, 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 very important in this process. Now, once you have a clear picture of what your funding needs and goals are, so if you're a person who wants to start a business, scale a business, invest in property, or you want to invest in other businesses, then it's important to know which are the proper products for you to actually obtain. So do you need a credit card? Do you need a line of credit? Do you need a loan? Do you need an investor? You need to identify what that is. Once you know what you're attempting to do, then you can figure out a strategic plan, which is the S in the SFP formula. You can create a why and how you're going to use this. Okay, today we're talking about the F in the SFP formula, which is funding. What type